Cool. I have a question for you regarding behavioral medicine.
Yeah.
It's a personal story. I adopted a female about a year and a half ago now, and I already had a male. He was a larger male. He was older than she is. He's 6 and she's 3.
Mm-hmm. And these are your cats you were telling me
my
about?
cats,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And when I first introduced Madison, she's the female, she went after him. He had never been around another cat before.
Yeah.
She went after him, and he was absolutely terrified, just, vomiting and, losing hair and eyes tearing. Yeah, really stressed out. And then there came a turning point where he actually made contact with her, and she realized, ooh, he's strong. So now he terrorizes her. I mean, really badly. She is basically captive in, if I don't intervene and put up some kind of gate, and then another gate on top of that, and then a screen on top of that, all the way up to the ceiling, he has her hiding out in the bedroom closet.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to bring new animals together, especially adult animals. The kittens and puppies tend to be fairly casual about that and don't get into too much aggression and interplay, just kind of let it roll off their backs, and eventually the older animal sees that the puppy's not much of a threat, and that usually works out pretty well. But when you get adults coming together who have had their own lives and their own environments up till now, then there are a lot of factors that play into that. And in the wild, cats and dogs and over the centuries have always played out a scenario like this: who's going to be boss and who isn't, and there's a pecking order and a hierarchy in packs of dogs and with lions and any of those cat families. And that continues in our animals today. So in behavioral medicine, one of the keys, which we won't have time to go into today, is an extremely detailed history of what your apartment or house or condo looks like, where the boxes are, where the food bowls are, where the cats live, where they used to live, what their previous relationships have been with other cats and people, who else is in the family and the household. And it's a very detailed questionnaire that is the starting point for any behavioral solutions. There are some general thoughts that you work with, and introducing a new animal, generally you would try by starting the new animal in one room with the door shut, and hopefully with a space, a little gap into the door, and the new animal, the old animal, in the rest of the house, and they're not too threatened, and they have some area where they can sniff each other and get to know each other. And you do that for a while, and then start to let limited exposures happen, and eventually you can put the newcomer out in the general house, and then the older one.
Do that, and
there's a lot more. I mean, there's a lot of behavioral modification that you work with there. Relocating boxes, try to define what it is that the conflict is around. Is it food? Is it attention? Is it the litter box area? Is it territory specifically? Which territory? And it's hard to get to the bottom of some of these. They can be very challenging cases.
Wow, I bet.
And sometimes it's a question of time. I had one newcomer in my household where let him out the first time, and my other 4 cats were fine, except for one wanted to kill him immediately.
Yeah.
And she stayed that way for 2 or 3 months with just limited exposures, and finally one day I let him out, and she said, well, I won't kill him. He's not welcome, but I won't kill him today. And from there it took another 6 months, but they eventually coexisted. They were never buddies, but
I see.
So it took about a year altogether for that one.
Well, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.